Yeah, nah, this is a real issue. And I think Diddy's lawyers are right when you're talking about somebody who's not, supposed to not be able to be accessed in this way.
And that's super scary. If he, in fact, woke up with a knife to his throat, I mean, that's friggin' terrifying.
Constitutional. Yeah. We think that a jury verdict should mean more than our jury's verdict seems to mean, and so we are planning to appeal.
Absolutely.
Sean Combs isn't simply watching his empire crumble. He's seeing it torn apart by the very people who once treated him like untouchable royalty. Most believe the lawsuits, the prison time, and the flood of documentaries marked the final chapter. But then everything shifted. A newly filed sworn statement surfaced this week. In it, an alleged victim claims Diddy trapped him inside a hotel suite, slipped something into his drink, and issued a chilling warning. If I could get Shakur taken out, imagine what I could do to you. Those words are now echoing everywhere, from court documents to hushed conversations within hip-hop circles, spreading like a confession no one can silence. Yet the real blow isn't just the accusation. It's when it's surfaced. Right as a Los Angeles judge approved another assault lawsuit, this new complaint paints an even darker picture. It alleges Combs attacked a music producer, forced himself on him, then mockingly threw a Notorious B.I.G. shirt onto the victim's body.
If anyone, I'm happy to go. So we think that's just absolutely inconsistent with the jury's verdict. I mean, the jury's verdict was resoundingly clear. There was no trafficking, there was no racketeering, everything was consensual, everything was adult, which is why he was convicted only of the offense. What we feel happened today was that the judge acted as a 13th juror, yes, one that we did not choose, and that he second-guessed the jury's...
While muttering, rest in peace. Even more shocking, Biggie's own son, C.J. Wallace, has reportedly been pulled into the case, while his mother races to fight back against Netflix's portrayal with a documentary of her own. None of it adds up. Men who dominate the industry for decades don't fall apart overnight unless a machine that once shielded them has started crack, or worse, has decided to turn against them. And the most unsettling part? The next revelation isn't expected from a courtroom filing. It's coming from the insiders, the ones who were actually there. The instant the phrase, "if I can get Shakur," hit surface in public, everything surrounding Sean Combs changed. What it looked like ordinary legal chaos suddenly felt far darker, more dangerous. This wasn't just another accusation or prison gossip. It connected one of hip-hop's most sacred, unresolved tragedies to a man who built his image as a guardian of the culture. That single sentence redrew the entire story. The allegation comes from Steve Otis, a name few people recognized until court papers appeared this week. According to the filing, Otis says he kept silent for 12 years before accusing Combs of drugging him inside a Midtown Manhattan hotel room, coercing him into what was described as a bizarre ritual, and trapping him against the bathroom wall, while murmuring that haunting reference to Shakur. And the timing feels deliberate. Otis didn't speak out until Combs was already behind bars. That raises an obvious question. Was it fear, careful planning, or something else altogether? People familiar with the situation claim Otis wasn't just afraid of Combs himself. He feared the network around him, the infrastructure that allegedly shielded him. One detail stands out. Supposed threats delivered through a male companion service called Cowboy for Angels, where a supervisor allegedly warned, "Mr. Star doesn't play. Mr. Star." Not a throwaway nickname. The kind of alias that makes insiders wonder how many other identities.
Judge who this job was a upgrade. He took a massive pay cut. He was an accomplished litigator. He has a pedigree that most law students would envy, and he's a very, very brilliant man. And
these Combs may have used, and how many others might still be waiting for a safe moment to come forward. Naturally, his attorneys insist it's fiction. They call it opportunism. A story invented while their client is weakened, but that explanation leaves gaps. If Otis were chasing attention, why stay quiet for more than a decade? And why would a federal judge allow yet another case to advance? This second lawsuit, filed by music producer Jonathan Hay, describes something even more disturbing. Hay claims Combs assaulted him, forced himself on him, then dropped a Notorious B.I.G. shirt onto his body while coldly muttering, "Rest in peace." That's not just violence. It feels symbolic, almost theatrical. a warning disguised as mockery. And it's not the first time Biggie's memory has surfaced in connection with Combs' controversies. Hayes' complaint outlines more than one event. It suggests a repeated method, using the legacies of deceased rap icons as psychological leverage, turning history into intimidation. What makes the situation even murkier is a mention of Biggie's son, C.J. Wallace, who is reportedly named as someone involved in drawing Hay into the encounter. That detail adds another layer of uncertainty. Was he aware of what was happening? Was he manipulated? Or was he unknowingly caught in something bigger than himself? For now, no one from his side is talking, and that silence may be louder than anything else, especially with the court officially allowing the case to move forward. What's circulating?
Same kind of extortion that we heard when Cassie took the stand and testified on that airplane ride back from France. Diddy said, "You don't do a freak-off, I'm going to release one of the freak-off videos that you are profiled in and humiliate."
Behind closed doors in the industry isn't just talk about lawsuits anymore. It's about when all of this is happening. Combs is already serving a 4-year sentence after a judge openly condemned his behavior during sentencing, calling it disgusting and referencing testimony about so-called private freak-off gatherings where women were allegedly pressured into performing while he observed. The ruling felt heavier than a routine punishment. Even though the jury cleared him of racketeering, the judge's remarks suggested something darker, as if the conduct presented in court barely scratched the surface. Now, with the Otis and Hay cases picking up speed, the conversation has shifted. It's no longer just about whether Combs is guilty. It's about how far the damage spreads. Both men describe nearly identical circumstances, claims of being drugged before anything happened. That similarity doesn't sound random. It hints at a pattern, a method, something organized rather than accidental. Then there's the detail about Cowboy for Angels. This isn't some sketchy underground ring. It's a legitimate escort service that openly advertises in major cities. If it truly played a role, it suggests access and structure and raises an uncomfortable possibility that others could have used the same pipeline. Yet the real pressure isn't building inside courtrooms. It's in the quiet. Where is the anger from the hip-hop world? Why hasn't a single heavyweight artist publicly addressed the Shakur reference? The absence of reaction feels strange. Either people are scared or they know more than they're.
Lawsuit filed against Sean Diddy Combs. This time, a former stylist claims to be Diddy's victim in a case of harassment and physical abuse. We're talking about someone named Deontay Nash. Was one of the witnesses, by the way, in the trial against Mr. Combs. He alleges that Combs turned his dream of working in entertainment into a
willing to admit. At the same time, Combs' inner circle appears to be scrambling. His mother, Janice, is reportedly preparing a documentary meant to counter Netflix's A Reckoning, which portrayed him as someone who exploited power and influence. But those close to the situation say the project isn't about redemption. It's about controlling the fallout. The brand he built for decades is splintering, and the lawsuits may only be the first wave. What's looming isn't just more legal battles. It's exposure, the kind that doesn't simply topple a career but reshapes how an entire era is remembered. And if even fragments of Shakur allegation hold weight, this story stops being about one man's collapse. It becomes something much bigger. The unraveling of secrets the culture has protected for years. There's another part of this story that feels off, and it has nothing to do with court filings. It's the prison reality. Combs isn't tucked away in some quiet, low-security facility. He's housed inside Brooklyn's Metropolitan Detention Center, a place so infamous for chaos and neglect that former inmates compare it to something out of a nightmare, less correctional institution, and more psychological battleground. Look at the roster alone. His neighbors reportedly include a deposed foreign strongman, a contract killer, and until recently R. Kelly. At one point, Tekashi 6ix9ine even joked about on a live stream, calling it a celebrity lockup, as if it were some bizarre VIP club. But that label is misleading. There's nothing comfortable about MDC. Reports describe stabbings happening in broad daylight. Inmates attacked dozens of times in common areas. Medical care is practically non-existent. One man allegedly died after cancer went untreated for months. Food is described as barely edible, recycled leftovers served again and again. It's not a holding center, it's survival mode. Out in the world, Combs operated like royalty. Inside, status means nothing. In there, he's just another body in a uniform, and word that he's already been threatened with a homemade blade suggests the influence he once commanded doesn't travel past those walls. Then there's the issue of the